Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals. My name's Andrew Otway, and we are That D&D Podcast. And tonight, it is my very special pleasure to bring you Session 0 of a very brief Genesys mini-campaign that we're going to be running. Nope, that's this side. We're going to set it in the Mass Effect universe. Please don't sue me, EA. We found a supplement, a fan-made supplement called Singularity, which is Genesys set in the Mass Effect universe. And I, for one, am really excited because this is one of my favorite fictional universes. Maybe it's fictional, who knows? But I've done enough talking. Everybody else should introduce themselves. And then we're going to go through a brief discussion of what we want to see and what sort of story we want to explore, and then hopefully some character generation.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I am a Mass Effect fan, but completely new to the Genesys system, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Hey, I'm Mike. I am a Mass Effect fan and new to the Genesys system, but very familiar with the Star Wars system, as hopefully viewers out there in TV land know.
Hi, Zach here. Likewise, longtime Mass Effect player, lots of experience with Star Wars. Interested to kick the tires on the generalized version of that, so should be fun.
Awesome. So yeah, does anyone have a particular? Because this is a fairly big universe, and there's a few. There's some well-explored ground, and there's some stuff that we can explore adjacent to it, or, a complete departure from it. Does anyone have a specific, pitch in mind?
I want to go kill Kai Lang.
But... Okay.
Mass Effect is now Star Wars.
I mean... Yeah, Zach is like Humpty Dumpty in that one Puss in Boots movie, where his character is just there, in the corner somewhere every time Shepard interacts with Kai Lang.
Mm-hmm. No, my broken body is laying just outside the door every time there's a fight with Kai Lang.
So quick question, is this for Thane or Miranda or who, you son of a bitch?
I don't think it matters. I generally don't like the person, so I want to go kick his ass. In all seriousness, I think the pitch that we talked a little bit about that I was really interested in was sort of what happened to the Quarian arc that we will now never see. And I like the idea of going and filling in that piece of space, right?
So, I mean, there's a lot of, again, there's a lot of empty ground there, so for those of you who aren't in the know, that's a bit of a future hook for possible DLC that isn't going to be explored in an official capacity. So why not have, two Canadian and two American nerds go explore what Electronic Arts didn't want to?
I actually really liked the idea of exploring what happens post-red ending in the third game. And
just all Reaper tech is broken. Mm-hmm. Shepard is missing in action. All of the relays blew up to carry the signal.
Mm-hmm. And all AIs are gone.
Yeah, well, all Reaper tech AI, which is basically every AI, except for that one gambling machine.
Oh yeah, the one that you could turn into the one that you could.
The one that just wanted to buy a cruiser and fuck off to space. Yep. Isn't that the dream?
And then you explode instead.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think you can let it go, actually.
Can you?
I think you can free willy it.
I don't remember that.
My renegade ship, let it go.
A bunch of people start rolling it and throw it into out a window.
You want to transfer to a ship? This is Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's been a while.
Okay, honestly, I'm down for a lot of things. I had a few pitches. I also kind of want. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I want to pitch the crew being like making the TV show or the like Mass Effect future media entertainment product that is the adventures of Blasto, the first Hanar Spectre, a pistol in every appendage and a lover in every port. With his Elcar sidekick who prefaces everything they say with badassfully.
Okay, so what I would like to pitch about that, like the sort of twist on that, right? What if, because Blasto is a thing that was going on at least in Mass Effect 2 for sure.
Yeah,
I assume
it's 2 and 3.
It's
Yeah.
2, 3, and then the Citadel DLC.
Okay. What if those people who made Blasto just got sort of towards when stuff started really hitting the fan in Mass Effect 3? What if they just like got called up as embedded reporters, right? So you have this like production crew that's now following around or actually participating with a military unit, like the they're not in sevens. What's the thing that you can be in ME3 multiplayer? What are those teams called?
Oh, it's not Apex.
Strike teams.
When they like unofficially call themselves N7s, I think Strike was Andromeda.
Oh, yes, you're right.
I remember that group has a name, but I don't remember what it is.
They were functionally just like militias.
Yeah, they were just like sorties, like the people that were on site. But yeah, like what if we got embedded with one of those crews, and our job was to like document and somehow eventually turn it into like propaganda film or whatever at the end, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But that meant that like these like essentially like Hollywood latte sipping folks are suddenly like in the shit. Like that would be a fun thing to do with it.
Trying to figure out.
Buster waves all his tentacles in a panic. Already upset.
So, honestly, probably my favorite piece of fiction in the Mass Effect universe was to coincide with one of the DLC, like the multiplayer-free DLC packs, was someone at BioWare made 4 Twitter accounts that was supposed to be one of these Mass Effect multiplayer parties.
Oh yeah.
And there was like a human engineer, there was a Geth soldier, and then a couple others, but like the engineer and the Geth just got into it with each other constantly. And at one point the Geth says something like 255 is the xth power of 2. And the engineer's just like, it's 256. And the Geth just replies, this unit counts the 0. And I was just like, like it was just one of the weirdest, nerdiest, narrowest things. And I absolutely adored it. I don't know that they actually had an official name. Like they were N7 operations were like the weekly challenges. But like they weren't N7, but they just called them that.
Yeah, it was a big deal when they actually threw the N7 soldiers in.
Yeah,
because they were like this really.
Well, they're the elite tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultra rare and extra powerful, and
yes.
give us more money.
Fire loot boxes. Yeah. I mean, I'm super down for the Quarian world ship. I'm super down for what happened after the red ending.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a non-fighty Mass Effect character looks like.
Sure.
I mean,
the reporters who learn to duck.
We could also be on the ground when like Cerberus attacks the Citadel.
Ooh.
Or the end of Mass 1.
Oh jeez.
Oh god.
Oh, during the mini invasion?
Yeah.
See, but then I don't think we could be Blasto.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, like
We could be the Blasto pilot on the Citadel.
Blasto got credit for the saving of the Citadel in the internal Blastoverse. I read all the Blasto information today.
He's a big heroic jellyfish.
Wait. One of the behind the scenes things with Blasto should include a rabid fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But like literally.
Yeah. It's a Vorcha.
I was about to. I didn't want to be racist about Vorches, but yeah, it's gonna be a Vorches them out, right? Yeah, Vorcha. But the good nice thing about Vorches is their regeneration keeps up with the rabies, so they can live with it indefinitely.
Okay, so this fan-made splat book actually has like rules for Vorcha and the definitely not a sex bot that Edie was.
Yep. It doesn't have any of the either of the Andromeda races.
Yeah. It has rules for being Hanar.
It has rules for being Hanar. You can be Hanar. Hanar gets special abilities for dual wielding, actually.
That's really good.
But Hanar may not
so
expend
much by
XP
Hanar.
at character creation to increase their brawn characteristic.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of species have that. Like the Vorcha can't make themselves smarter. Like they can't improve their intellect at character creation. What's the other one? There's a couple of them like that. Oh, Elcor can't raise their agility above 1.
Okay.
Which I buy. I'm into that.
Charging Elcor would be fucking terrifying.
It really would. Like,
So,
because in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, my buddy and I always used to joke about an Elcor Vanguard. That's what I want. I want to play an Elcor Vanguard. And like,
So-
I could play an Elcor Vanguard. It'd be awesome.
I mean, it might be easiest if we start in media res, like during one of those, like during the Citadel attack, and we are somewhat combat adept, or if we start in a Mass Effect 2 era-ish situation with the collectors. There's a lot of
Oh shit.
frontiersy stuff.
Yeah.
Space westerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would totally be down for something frontier, like either 2 with the colonies or, Andromeda for the new settlements.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, if we want to take Andromeda and bump it forward like 50 years, and it's like, cool, we've got a foothold, now we have to figure out what expansion looks like and what negotiating with the Angara looks like, and maybe some of the, like, not genocidal Ket showed up.
Yeah, the Ket that we haven't seen, the ones that are not like the reactionary genocidal freaks, would be interesting. Yeah. So the concept I've come up with works in basically all of these things, just because it's still what I would probably play regardless.
The Vanguard Hanar?
Okay.
Oh, Vanguard Elcor, excuse me.
Yeah. My actual idea was an Asari Vanguard, essentially, who's half Elcor, right? Her other parent was an Elcor. That was why she was going to be on the Quarian.
Quarian arc, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Citadel Race's arc.
And she's like a liaison or something.
Yeah, or just like she decided she was done with the Asari because they were jerks about her being half Elcor. So she essentially defected and claimed a spot on her father's species.
Well, she should be part of the leadership team on that ship and be super salty about it.
Yeah. I think I want to play a Drell.
Okay.
Fits on the arc.
Drell was the other thing I was looking at, because I love me some Drell.
Either if we do the blaster thing as a PA, or if we go with the arc, some sort of biotic medic.
Awesome. Any high concepts out of you, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm totally playing Quarian.
Okay.
Right, like, yeah, and like whatever setting we can work that in. But like, no. And also, like, I'm intentionally going last because I have 6 character ideas that I can easily slot into whatever you two don't pick. So.
So I mean, okay. So it sounds like any of sort of the settings we've pitched thus far fit. And we've got the Asari with an Elcor dad. We've got the drill. and we've got a Quarian. Okay. I mean, do we have strong feelings about where and when? Zach just went on a journey.
I mean, yeah, the answer for me is, I mean, not really. It's going to be fun regardless.
Yeah.
Just sounded like there were a couple of themes that we were interested in. Number one, let's put ourselves like in the shit immediately. It
Yes.
sounds like, and the frontier idea sort of resonated.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, is in the shit in the frontier, like, so you're on the Ark, something's gone horribly wrong, you've drifted, like, 0.002 degrees off course, which means you're 20 years early, or whatever. You're, like, 20 years early, and also you're going to end up way off course. Or is it, like, do we want to do that to set up, like, the preconditions, and then we jump forward 50 years, and it's like, cool, we've got this Ark, we've somehow managed to, like, crash land it into a planet, let's figure out what surviving the local winter looks like?
The thing that jumped into my mind immediately was we come out of our jump in the right place, but, like, we have no flight control or path control at that point. And so we start with the crash onto the planet.
Yeah.
But we're late, right? So we show up late. And so the scavengers descend, the people the outcasts from the council races descend to try to, like, pull as much stuff off this stuff as they can. The various factions are all trying to, like, not have us settle here because this is ours. We're trying to keep our people alive. Like, I think there's a very strong nucleus there of we crashed our Ark, y'all.
and like, I think the opening to Andromeda is also, like, super thematically strong.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we wake up and we don't know where we are. Right. Something's gone horribly wrong. We have to deal with immediate crises, and then we get the ship back on track, and we crash. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like,
I'm imagining, like, we get the shot of each of you, and, like, we deliberately mimic the, like, intro of Andromeda where there's, like, the big rotating thing and it's pulled your pod out, and, like, we get each of the three of you, like, in split screen or whatever, sitting up like, we made, and then just, like, smash into a planet.
But we should totally have, like, one scene of downtime.
Yeah.
And then we should smash into a planet.
So I think the actual, like, heart intro of this is gonna be kind of Tales from the Loopy, in, like, what was your, like, a day in the life on the Ark, or you signing up and getting put into cryo sleep, or you, like, it's like something like that, like you have a normal day, or, like, you get a normal scene to, like, sort of establish who your character is, what they're about, and then we can just throw you into this shit.
I think that's great for a lot of reasons.
Thanks. Do we want to start doing the mechanical gubbins of putting characters together, now that we've sort of got, like, a starting point?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're going to start at some point, so.
Cool.
Sorry, name generator.
Oh my! I went to the same thing. Quarian name generator, first thing right off the bat.
Hey, thanks for name.
I just want to point out it should have, like, 17, like, S's, I's, and A's combined in it if you want to be, like, proper Asari.
What's the difference between Nar and Voss?
Oh, for Quarians?
Yeah.
Which one you're born to, which one you have, like, after you went on your pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Right, because it's Talizora of us Normandy.
Yeah, Nar is your...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly choked up when you said Voss Normandy.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I make the good choices.
All right, I'm gonna show a name. This is the thing that came out of this name generator.
Okay.
And I want to make people say that.
Oh no. I also need to disable the Roll20 chat beep. Thank you for the reminder.
Zaishi fan around.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Disable chat beep.
Like, what are Elcor names like, though, is the thing. Because I would have taken an Elcor name, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you? I think this depends heavily on what Mom was like.
It's true.
And, like, was Dad there, or did you find Dad afterwards? And
I feel like, so mechanically, because of the way that Singularity is set up, right? There are special abilities within the Asari species that are by age rank.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Maiden, matriarch. And the one that I want to have is the matriarch one, which means I'm old. Right?
Yeah.
I'm an old Asari. So I think maybe I like came back late in life as like, you know what, this Asari stuff, I'm not into that anymore. I'm gonna be an Elcor now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I still have my old name. Maybe I've already established myself in the galaxy with this name. Although I'm imagining my character to be something like the bartender on Omega.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the important matriarchs. I'm the other one.
Liara's dad.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite, just like little, like unconfirmed little winks and nods.
Wasn't she on Ilium?
I don't.
Wait, who's dead?
No,
Liara.
Liara's dad, the bartender.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dad.
Was on.
Was on Ilium.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
one on Omega poisoned you.
Yeah.
That was a Batarian.
But there was a second bartender because there's the other part of the bar, right?
Yeah.
There's the bar that's run by the Asari, and there's the Solarian. The Solarian and the Turian are talking about like being friend zoned and being really dumb men. And she's like hanging back and talking about how she used to get in cool mercenary fights. Probably with Rex, which is just like, okay, the universe is getting a little small here, guy. Small here, BioWare.
Yeah, we're getting some Star Wars vibes where everyone's related to everyone else. There we go.
Yeah.
I got this. Ushta. I want to be Ushta.
Nice. Quarian arc. One normal scene.
All right, I got it.
Okay. Let me just switch over to the map screen so people can see the notes that I'm taking, which are lovely and bare bones. So what do you got, Mike?
Vincesal Narcina.
Wow.
That's definitely a thing.
Because it all managed to sound like both Vin Diesel and John Cena.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you playing a Vin Diesel John Cena Quarian?
We will see. Like I said, we are in the pachinko machine
like
of
the
character
3-drawn
creation.
Quarian?
Right. Yeah. So depending on where you're going to be a biotic, you're a bio combat, right? You're going to be a punch wizard.
Probably, yeah.
And Jordan, did you have a
biotic engineer, so like a medic sort of thing, like Sentinel.
Right. Well, then I got to go sniper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so I just want to point out that your John Cena inspired character will have the tactical cloak, and ergo you can't see them.
Yes, and I'm gonna have like blacked out eyes on the Quarian helmet. Like it doesn't help at all.
No.
Right, but also I don't have a ship name because newbie.
Yep. Good.
So yeah, is that like a planet, Cena?
It'd be dad, right, or a parent figure.
No, it's the ship you're born on.
Yeah.
There's the ship that I'm born on. The Cena, which we don't see.
Yeah. You never see it.
Right, exactly.
I just want to point out that in chat has been said that the cholesterol and diabetes is strong in all of us. This is a very silly campaign already, and I kind of adore it.
Yes.
All right. So Jordan, I'm guessing you'd like some quantity of assistance with.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not great at this either. Okay, so determine backgrounds. We're assuming both games and players are familiar with Mass Effect, so this one's on you. Cool. Select a species. So you've chosen Drell.
Yep.
Is there a spot to put that on the sheet?
There.
Archetype species. There we go.
Yeah.
And sorry, Asheru Mena's the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that for chat.
It should be visible on my screen, so on the stream now.
Mostly meant for Mike and Zach.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Minna. Okay, so we have Cinna and Minna.
It's just it's the last name that I usually go with.
Okay. I'm just enjoying the fact that like.
Oh yeah, when I saw Mike's, I was like, oh, well, dang, one of us has to go home and change, but not.
All right. Well,
I'll go change.
I am now Ushta Binna.
I can totally be Senna and change it to John with 2 N's.
No, I am now. This is my new name here. We're just gonna lean all the way in. This is my last name. This is why we got sorted together somehow via some weird algorithm.
Oh, we like preferred the final letter and name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Drell begin the game with 1 rank in perception, discipline, coordination, or survival.
Do you want to give a top down quick level overview of Genesys as a system and like how it works?
I don't know how well equipped I am to do that, so if you want to, or if Zach would like to.
Oh, good. We're looking at me. All right, great. So, Genesys is an outgrowth of the Star Wars, the Final Fantasy, or the Fantasy Flight
there
games. Final Fantasy games. Hey, listen to that. The Fantasy Flight games, Star Wars system. And so, it's fair. A lot of the things that they talk about will be fairly familiar for players. They have with their attributes that are things like brawn and intellect and willpower. We have skills that are things like pilot and athletics and charm, right? So all of that sort of goes together. Characters have wounds, they have armor, they have strain, which is sort of like how much mental pressure you can take. All of these stats are used are fairly similar to what has come before. What really makes this sort of a different thing is that your stats and your skills represent dice that you roll, right? So, for example, if I had, let me just look at my sheet real quick. If I had an athletic skill of 1 and a brawn of 3, I'm going to be rolling the higher of those. I'm going to be rolling 3 dice every time I try to do something that involves my brawn or do an athletics thing, something athletic, right? I'm rolling 3 green dice for 3 brawn against some number of purple and red dice. There's good dice that you roll against bad dice, and they generate successes and advantage on one side, and failures and threat on the other.
So you upgrade the dice based upon the second number.
So
yeah, we're gonna get to that. So
okay,
yeah. So skills. So the sheet does the math for you, so it's not going to be as complicated as it sounds. But basically, the more skill you have, and the bigger one of the skill and the attribute associated with it tell you the number of dice. The smaller one tells you the number of really nice dice you get to roll inside that. So if I had an athletics of 1 and a brawn of 3, I'd be able to roll 1 yellow die, which is the really good proficiency die, and then 2 of the green dice, which are the ability dice, to fill that out. And then whatever Andrew told me was my difficulty number of dice, he just gets to throw purple and red and black dice at us. And we roll all of them together, and then successes and failures cancel out, and advantages and threats cancel out, and you wind up with just a pile of success or failure, threat or advantage, and occasionally triumphs and despairs, which are the scene-changingly good or bad things. Yeah, good. High stats are good. Low stats are not. If you want to be good at something, put points into it. That's pretty much. There you go. That's pretty much how it. That's the long and short of it. Your species comes with stats, with characteristics. Yeah, is what the attributes are called.
Yeah.
Which sounds like Andrew has already put in your thing.
Mhm.
We can spend XP to increase them, which we probably will be here in a second. But yeah, it's just a pretty standard. Big numbers are better. We can figure out the rest as we roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty good explanation. One of the important things is, so there are those sort of three axes of resolution, like success and fail cancel each other out. Advantage and threat will cancel each other out, and then despair and triumph, which is critical success and critical failure, you can think of them as, don't actually cancel each other out. So you can get a result in which you succeed, you take some kind of cost for the threat, and a scene-changingly good and a scene-changingly bad thing all occur from one roll. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly unlikely, but it is something that is possible.
The Krogan is ejected into space through the hull of the ship.
Yeah,
that's a triumph and a despair at the same time. The characteristics are pretty straightforward. Brawn is kind of your strength and your constitution. It's just how big and brawny you are. Agility is how agile you are. Intellect is how intellectual you are. Cunning is sort of wisdom-y in that it's like how well can you read people when they lie, but it's also how well you can lie and how good you are at noticing things.
And a bit of sneakiness too.
In a bit of like being a sneaky jerk, but not actually sneaking around.
Yes.
Because actually sneaking is an agility, but skullduggery,
which is knowing
one of the greatest skill names, is on cunning. Willpower is willpower, but it's also like how it's both your ability to resist things with your will, but and your ability to just like force other people to bend to your own. And if you're biotic, you probably want it pretty high because it's the attribute associated with biotic skills.
Yeah.
And presence is how sociable you are, how affable, how charming,
Charisma.
essentially. Yeah. It kind of, I mean, charisma also got rolled a little bit into willpower and a little bit into cunning, but presence is sort of the easygoing version of charisma. You're not really pushing anybody around with it. It also charisma also affects your cool skill, which, again, I love the fact that it's just a skill that's cool. Which can determine things like when you go in combat or how good you are at not getting completely phased when something bad happens.
Yeah.
So
the cool skill is used when you're ambushed.
No, the vigilance skill is used when you're ambushed. The cool skill is when you're looking somebody in the eye before you draw.
Okay. Yeah. That's really good.
Could we maybe do a demonstration? Because I will be honest, a lot of that went in one ear, out the other. Yep. It's like seeing it would be.
So if you look at your character sheet and go to the skills tab, which is ways down, it'll say characteristics, and you've got 2 in brawn, agility, intellect, cunning, 3 in willpower, and 1 in presence. And then if you scroll a bit lower than that, it's got like alchemy, astrocartography, athletics, computers. And you've got 2 dice in each of those, and it sort of tells you which stat is governing those skills.
Right.
And then you get to cool, and you've only got 1 die in cool because you only have 1 presence.
Right.
And then you go down to like discipline, and you've got 3 in discipline. That's because it's based off of your willpower, which is higher. If you invested a couple points into discipline, it's going to turn one of those dice yellow. And then if you continue investing in it, it's going to turn more of the dice yellow. Yellow dice are generally just better than green.
Right.
If you continue investing in discipline, so if you have more skill ranks in discipline than you have willpower, you don't add more yellow dice, you'll add a green one. So basically, the way the dice pool is calculated, and the sheet will take care of this. If you have more ranks in skill than you do characteristics dice, then you get the higher quantity of dice, and then the lower quantity of them become yellow.
So Zach, do you have any of your stuff set yet?
I'm messing with it right now, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so let's presuppose that my Quarian with an agility of 2, and I don't see the stuff here. Let's say I'm gonna fire a weapon, right? So I'm gonna say, Andrew, I grab my Matic rifle and I bring it up to sight in the thing that I'm shooting at, right?
Sure.
The targeting drone, right?
Yep.
That's zooming around. So I take a second, I aim and I fire, right? So what's my dice pool look like?
And I'll say it's like 2 purple and 1 red for the difficulty. You aim, so you'll take the boost die. And then, let's say you're good at shooting. 2 red, 1 of them. Boop.
Yeah. So the strike is a failure, but I got 2 advantage. So all those little symbols nicely cancel out, luckily, in roll 20. So it shows the failure means that I missed, but the 2 advantage means that there's a positive side effect that occurred. So in that case, I might say, oh, hey, I got 2 advantage. So I'm going to say, a couple shots missed, but it forces the drone to drive down lower and get within range of Zach's Vanguard, and give him a boost dice on his next roll. And it's slightly more complicated than a 2d6 plus number, but I throw in the ballpark of like bleeds-ish.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna hit roll until we get a different result. 5 advantage, great. There we go.
What is that?
Well, that's 5 success and a threat. So, so the more success you get, influences how successful your action was. For a weapon attack, for example, you add the number of successes to the base damage of the weapon. For non-weapon attacks, the GM just
gives you more.
Keep that in mind. Yeah.
So, like, if you're trying to convince someone, 5 successes means like they're probably your friend for the rest of the scene. Like they'll be very helpful for the rest of the scene. And then that threat, I might be like, but maybe they've keyed into something, or like they're going to like hound you until they get your phone number out of you or something. And so like you'll take 1 point of strain, which is like the mental fatigue.
But if that was a despair, they would just keep stalking you forever and never, and it would cause complications in future scenes.
But the good news is that so the character creation works like you figure out the sort of things that you want to be good at. Agility tends to be, they're all the attribute names sort of straightforward, but so you just kind of pick attributes you want to be good at, you kind of pick skills you want to be good at, and you roll forward. And then once we have that, we can do like an intro scene that's low stress, and we can move from there. It's I always pitch Star Wars as way easier to play than explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little intimidating to start with, but I think it's pretty easy. It makes a lot more sense once you get moving with it, which is why, and I feel like this is the thing that I have with a lot of games. It's a lot easier to understand when you watch it happen than it is to just like drop yourself in and try to do the thing.
All right. So do we want to discuss the process of character creation so that it's a little more straightforward?
Sure. So we've got the species selected. We filled in your baseline characteristics. The next step is choose a career. So let's see what careers come in this game. Or do they?
No, they don't. We pick
Okay.
8 skills.
Okay. So yeah, you can kind of freeform a career. So I mean, for being a medic, you probably want medicine. Honestly, probably cool if you're a medic because like blood shouldn't freak you out too much. And then I mean, vigilance is kind of used. It's not noticing hidden stuff because that would be perception, right?
Yeah, vigilance is like, oh, something's going wrong.
Yeah.
Do I notice that?
Okay.
It's noticing stuff on the side, right? Perception is
Yeah.
noticing stuff that's holding still.
Okay.
Yeah, so like perception is something you're looking at. Vigilance is something like over here to the corners of your vision.
Gotcha.
Right. That's kind of how that works.
You said biotics. I added a custom biotic skill, so it's down the bottom of your list.
Okay.
I don't know if you're a medic, life sciences, knowledge life sciences, which is another thing you have to add down at the bottom. Might not be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how full in you're going on that. Basically, 8 skills is a fair amount. It's not. It might not cover a whole concept, but it's going to come pretty close.
How different would life science be from medicine?
Well, they're going to do different things, right? So life sciences medicine will specifically be about how good you are at treating a person that's literally in front of you. Whereas life sciences is going to be like, what do you know about how biology works in this universe and what you can do with that?
Applied application, book learning.
Okay.
Knowledge skills are general, and there are a number of them that are labeled specifically skills. And knowledge skills are theory, not application, essentially.
If you check, it's around page. This is 4. So 4 and 5 have what life science is. Your character. It says your character should use this skill if, and then your character should not use this skill if.
Yeah, those are really helpful sections.
I think it's a great idea that more games should steal.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think they have, but not like that explicitly.
Okay, let me just make sure. Got.
So what you're gonna do when you pick those skills, Jordan, is check them off as career.
Okay.
So what that's going to do is going to make them less expensive to buy. Because you get some XP and then you spend it buying things.
So, if I went with knowledge life science, I wouldn't just do the knowledge skill, I would add it at the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, I think I added it to the bottom of your sheet as well.
I just see hacking and warfare.
Interesting. Am I looking at the wrong person's sheet?
Oh, I'm looking at Mike's for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how, but...
Oh,
okay.
All sheets are public in this, just so I figure that might make it more useful to...
No, but I had just mine open earlier.
I hit the show to players button.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Okay, how do I change the weapon names?
That's a good question. If you hit add.
It just adds another weapon question mark.
If you scroll down slightly, there's make and model.
That doesn't seem to do anything?
Interesting. Interesting. What if you hit modify? Nope. Cool. Cool.
So, 8 different career check marks?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm looking through the character skills that might be ideal for an infiltrator. Infiltrators in Mass Effect tend to be a little techy, a little combat-y. They tend towards they use their tech shields to create stealth, and then they fire sniper rifles. So with that in mind, I've picked up stealth, which is an agility skill so far. I picked up range light to represent the type of weapons that an infiltrator trends towards using. I've also picked up the skills of hacking, knowledge warfare, and sysops. Based upon those, because those sounded like kind of infiltratory sort of stuff. I'm also thinking about picking up deception, because that sounds about right in the same vein for this sort of character. And that's 3, 4, 5, 6 skills so far. Looking at the Singularity PDF, I'm also trying to think about like what else kind of falls into this character's wheelhouse. I've got some agility, I've got some cunning, like stealth and fighting agility. Deception is cunning. All the knowledge skills that I have so far are intellect. So the question is, do I want to pick up another intellect skill and then another like cunning skill to kind of like round it all out? Or do I want to pick up like different kinds of skills? So like cool and vigilance. I feel like I definitely should have one of those. Cool is starting the fight, I believe, and vigilance is reacting to having the fight start at you.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I like to call it.
Yes.
So I feel like for an infiltrator, cool sounds more appropriate for the build. So I'm going to go ahead and pick cool for that. And then looking at the last few bits there, coordination, maybe not. Mechanics, I mean, this is a tech-based critter, so I might pick up mechanics. But there's also survival there. So the question is Vin Diesel, Nar, John Cena, are they more of a tech type, or are they more of a hang out in the wildernessy type? And I don't think that Quarians are going to have a whole lot of experience in a wild setting. I think that's kind of fair. So it sounds like the survival version for Quarian might be more mechanics than just plain survival. So I think I'm going to grab mechanics as my 8th skill, which I do not remember if that's an existing thing. It is. All right, so cool. So just going ahead and writing that down. I got a cool one, mechanics, stealth, ranged lights, deception, hacking, knowledge warfare, sysops. I did not pick gunnery, brawl, or melee for another combat skill, so I only have one way of solving combat problems. I think that's probably okay.
Hacking will solve your combat problems as well.
Yeah.
Right. And that feels correct for a Quarian infiltrator, in my humble opinion. So after looking at that, where's the character? So we've got my species Quarian. We've picked out the career in that we have 8 career skills in 4 rank 1 skill trainings, right? So we've got the career skills, which would be cheaper for me to raise. So let's talk a little bit about what Vin Diesel and Narcina saw in their life. So I'm definitely going to pick a rank. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah. So what does rank 1 in this skill mean as well?
So for example, so for picking a rank 1 in a skill, it helps supplement the dice pool that I'm going to get. So right now, if I was to roll range light, I'd roll 2 yellow dice because I have an agility of 2. If I pick up 1 rank in the skill range light, my dice change to 1 proficiency die and 1 ability die because I have a dice pool of 2, 1 of which are upgraded. So I pick up range light because I think that feels right for this character. I'm going to pick up a rank of hacking, which also feels correct. The question in mechanics. You know what? I'm going to do mechanics and stealth.
Do you have a bonus from being Quarian? What's your skill from Quarian?
I haven't checked that yet. My skill from Quarian, 9 plus brawn, strain is 12 plus willpower.
1 rank
skill
in
training.
astrocartography, mechanics, pilot, operating, or computers.
So one of the things in my experience from playing the Star Wars sorts of games, I like to be a little bit broader than deep for certain types of things. Like at character creation, I like to boost my abilities, and then as I go, I like to boost my skills. Computers wasn't a thing that I picked up during as part of my career book, but I still think like the Quarians are probably going to have a little bit of that technical know-how, right? That sounds about right. It feels right for me anyways. So I'm going to pick up computers even though it's not in my career book. Sorry about that. So I just rank of that. And then the other thing I can do for my career, because I'm a Quarian, is that's it. One eligible for child utility. You can move it. Okay. So that is my species. That's my career. The next is I get experience points. So as a Quarian, I get 95 experience points. And if somebody wants to check me on that, I believe that the way spending experience works is it's 10 times the new value for increasing a characteristic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true.
And 4 times the new value for increasing a skill?
5 times.
Okay. So I am going to pick up, my character is very heavily invested in intelligence, and I think that I would be doing a disservice to my career if I didn't have some agility. So I'm going to pick up, I already have an intellect of 3, but if I pick up an intellect of 4, that's going to be 40 experience. If I pick up an agility of 3, that's going to be 70 experience. And that leaves me 25 experience to play around with. I will probably... that's not enough to boost cunning, but it may be enough to boost a talent, to pick up a talent or 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I haven't read these yet.
Neither have I, actually.
For each tier, we'll provide a list of necessary talents that are excluded from the game.
So, like, debilitating shot. Well, they've added some as well.
Yeah.
Of course, they added one called My Favorite Store.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
There's a couple of really fun references in the talent section specifically. Don't forget that if you take the Inventor talent as a tier 2 talent, because you're a Quarian, it's free.
Is this one where you have to build, like, you have to have at least one level 1 talent before you can have a level 2? Like, yes. You have to build that pyramid?
Is it 2 level 1 talents before you can have level 2?
No, it's just 1. It's not pyramids, it's column, right? So you start with 1, and you build to 2, and you build to 3, and you build to 4 and 5. It's not like Fate where you had to have a bunch of stuff here to go up here. It's just 1 at a time. So you can pick a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 4, and that's totally valid.
So I would be remiss if I did not leverage my Quarian character ability and take that Inventor for free. So let's look at the talent section, weapons, talents, and power, and say talents and special abilities. So I need a level 1 talent that fits this character.
There's Spacer, which is you ignore 1 setback from physical motion, such as high, low, no gravity, moving at high speeds, or standing on an unstable surface.
That's good. That's good. I was actually thinking about taking up combat mastery.
Okay.
And maybe like, is there one of those for tech as well?
I'm not sure what combat mastery gets you.
Combat mastery buys you the combat powers, like the adrenaline surge and things that you can do. Those you buy with that talent, right?
Gotcha.
The
tech powers, because you have the hacking skill, you have access to.
Perfect.
All the tech magics.
Yeah, all of them. I don't need to purchase tech magic in this case. I just cast a tech power.
Yep.
All right. So I am gonna for my tier 1 talent, I'm gonna pick up combat mastery. Combat mastery, and that's gonna be rank 1. Book singularity.
Can you put the page reference?
Page reference is 28.
Well, just like in the power, so that
Yep,
if we have to
done.
figure out things.
And the XP cost, I don't remember. Is it
5?
It's for tier 1, it's 5, yeah. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's 5 times tier.
Okay. So that's my combat mastery for tier 1. And now I have 20 experience remaining. This is not going to let me copy this out of here. It's totally not. Okay, I'll type in this after when I'm offline. And then I'm going to pick up, what do you say, Inventor is free?
Inventor's free. It's on page 76 of the core rules.
Oh, it's
That is-
Inventor's a heritage home.
Yeah, that is the one that when you build or modify something, you get a boost die to do it for every rank of inventor.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, what page did you say that was on?
Page 76 of the core Genesys rules.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I don't have my Genesis book handy, unfortunately. But I will write down Inventor. And my rank will be 1. And it's Genesis, page 76, you said it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I still have 20 experience remaining. I could, maybe I'll boost some of my skills up a little bit. Maybe I'll pick up another couple powers and talents. Because each talent, what's the rank 2 talent cost?
Rank 2 costs 10.
Okay. And like rank 3 is 15 then?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can get a 3 and a 1.
I'm going to check real quick of whether is my one concern for you specifically would be if there are a bunch of sniper rifles with like cumbersome 2. Which it looks like there are a bunch of sniper rifles with cumbersome 2.
Which means
and
it adds penalties
Yeah.
if you're not strength or bronze.
So if you don't have a strength, at least the cumbersome rating of a weapon, you take 1 setback die, one of the black 6-sided dice, for each point of brawn you have below that. So it looks like there is cumbersome. There is, you can use a Valiant. That is the only sniper rifle that you could use without taking a penalty with your 1 strength Quarian. If you want to go with assault rifle or something else, I think those are a little bit more forgiving.
or the Kishok. The
Oh, did I
harpoon
miss one?
rifle. Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go.
I don't know that I'm going to have
It's
that
very
much money.
expensive. Yeah.
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 So, I will spend... the incisors cumbersome 3.
Yeah.
I will spend the 20 XP then instead of on getting my brawn up to 2. And then I can worry about the rest of it later.
Mm-hmm.
So, my character info, where is it? Skills. So, brawn 2. 5. Talents. Rank 1. Combat mastery. And then 20. Brawn 2. All right. So that is me. I am set for now.
Cool. Jordan, do you feel like you want to jump in, or would it be helpful for somebody else to go through the process first?
How about you go and then we'll go and we'll spend a bit more time on mine so it's not like wrecking the flow too much.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. All right, so to sort of start mine, mine's a little bit more complicated because the Asari are like intense with their options here. So I'm playing an Asari that is the progeny of an Elcor. So what that means is that the Asari get an ability during character creation that's called genetic exchange, and it lets them change their stats around based on who or what species their non-Asari parent was, if there's a non-Asari parent. So it lets you put 1 stat at 3 based on the highest stat of your other species, and 1 stat at 1 based on the lowest stat of your other species. So because of that, and because my dad's an Elcor, I have 3 brawn, 1 agility, 2 intellect, 2 cunning. I start with 2 willpower, and I have 2 presence. So I'm pretty too straight across the board, except for brawn and agility. I'm pretty tough and not very agile because I'm part Alcor. So we'll come back to that later because I do want my attributes to be a little higher, or my characteristics to be a little higher than that later. So I'm playing a Vanguard. I'm playing an Asari biotics user. In part, I mean, you pick Asari to play biotics because their skill point, their species skill point, if you noticed how Mike's Quarian had several options you could go into, Asari just get a point in biotics. You just have biotics as your option. So I get my 1 free point in there. And then for my class skills, my career skills, I picked athletics, discipline, perception, vigilance, brawl, coercion, biotics, and knowledge physical sciences. My idea here, sort of for the character, is that she was some kind of science researcher, because that's basically the only sort of character that we don't have without just running my stereotypical like merc, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna play a sciencey character.
Well, you're playing. Okay, are you playing? And I'm totally fine with playing something else if that's the thing that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Are you playing like the physicist style character, or are you playing the biologist style character, or you were going to be both?
It was probably more biology than physicist. Like, I'm gonna be on the ground with the originally, like, you know, the first team that hits the ground.
Okay.
That's so life sciences is like, can we live on this planet? And like, will this soil like grow? Like, is this soil arable? And like, is this crop poisonous? And like, what species does this tooth belong to? The sciences that Zach has is like, how much faster than light speed do we need? Like, did we go and like?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and will this atmosphere combust when we enter it with our giant spaceship?
That's probably like a joint skill.
It might be, yeah, it might be. So yeah, I think we can maybe like we're the science team, right? Maybe we work side by side there.
And Mike's our escort.
Yeah, Mike is our tech escort here. So yeah, so from those, I didn't take any points in astrocartography. I figure somebody else is flying. So from those, I get four rank 1 skills. I'm going to put one in discipline, because using biotics takes strain, and discipline is one of the things that lets you recover strain. So I want to have that. So that's one. I put a point in brawl because I can't make a character that doesn't punch things. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It's in your contract.
It really is. Like, this is the thing that they keep me around for. I put another point in biotics. So here's where Mike and I sort of part ways a little bit. Although Mike got the value for it. Basically, rank 2 skills are worth 10 XP, whereas rank 1 skills are worth 5 XP. It's just a better deal to go get a rank 2 skill if you can. So my biotics are 2 ranked. I got 2 free ranks, which is worth 15 points instead of just 5 points. So, and then I put my last point in knowledge physical sciences, so that I actually can be a scientist with 2 intellect. I have 2 intellect. Maybe this is why the art crashed.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, you said you were gonna do like the matriarch, sort of like age band.
Yeah.
Which I mean, sometimes science just moves real slow, right?
It's true.
Like, if you're alive for 1,000 years, you can have a lot of breakthroughs.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe I used to be better at this and just like haven't been to a conference in a while, so I'm missing out on a lot of like the really cutting edge stuff. The
last time you were at a scientific conference, mankind was undergoing crusades.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the what was the Prothean guy's name. I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be that person.
Javik?
Javik.
Javik. I'm gonna be like Javik. Only I'm gonna be like just completely dissing all modern science all the time for old versions of same.
Carry around a scientific abacus.
Okay, so that's my skills, right? I have because the Asari get a bunch of special abilities, they start with less XP than Mike did. So I have 85 XP to spend. Because my bronze is already respectable, it's already up to a 3. I am science person, so I don't anticipate punching everything all the time. So instead what I did is I'm going to spend a lot of points raising willpower, because willpower governs my biotic abilities, right? So I'm starting at 2. I'm going to spend 30 of my 85 XP to get it to 3, and I'm going to spend another 40 of the remaining 55 XP to get it to 4. So that means I have 4 willpower, which is not it's just a significant amount. I'm not quite maxed out on available potential willpower. It means I'm going to be pretty good at biotics. I'm going to be pretty good at not losing my cool when things go bad, or like keeping my head together, not necessarily being cool about things. I'm going to be scary, which I kind of like. I'm going to be sort of effortless, or like unpracticedly scary, because I don't have any points in coercion yet, which will be fun. And then I'm going to take right away, I'm going to take another 2 of those, or another 20, or another 10 of the remaining 15 XP, and I'm going to buy a second rank in Knowledge Physical Sciences, just to sort of back up the fact that they've made me an expert, right? I want to have 2 ranks. That seems reasonable. And then I've got 5 left. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to spend those 5 points on a tier 1 talent called Second Wind. It's in the core Genesys book, and it lets me, once per scene, as basically a free action, recover 1 strain. 1 of my spin strain. Every time I use my biotic powers, I spend 2 strain, regardless.
Well, you accrued the strain.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. You have a threshold, you gain strain until you hit that threshold, and then you are incapacitated.
Damage counts up in this game.
Yes. So this lets me lower my strain during combat just by a little bit, but it might be enough to actually help. And then because I have a level 1, tier 1 talent, I can for free acquire the L Core tier 2 heritage talent, which is defensive stance, which means that I can spend a maneuver and 1 strain to upgrade the difficulty of all melee attacks made against me until my next turn. So once I get into fighting somebody, I can spend strain, which I'm going to be doing a lot of, to make myself harder to hit.
Not bad.
And with that, I am out of XP. I am picking, I haven't put the text of it on my sheet yet. The reason I decided to go with a matriarch and then built the story around a little bit is that they have an ability called Forceful Personality, or Matron. Sorry, I'm a matron. Forceful Personality. Once per session, your character may spend a story point as an incidental. If they do, during the next skill check they make during that turn, your character doubles the strain they inflict or the strain that they heal. When you punch someone, you can choose to deal strain damage. So I like the idea that my Forceful Personality with my, like, Rhino Asari is hitting someone so hard that they pass out.
Or peace out.
Right? Yeah. Or just like, yeah. Like, I'm not staying here to mess with this anymore. So yeah. And I still have I still have equipment stuff that I'm looking at, although I think my equipment, since they didn't stat out the Batarian Hate Fist, will be fairly straightforward. Science-y things. And we can do all that in a minute once we sort of get Jordan to a place where she's happy with things. And yeah, we can move on from there.
I don't see where experience is.
Okay.
It's in the whatchamacallit, race section.
In which context? Where are you looking for experience?
I'm at the drill page.
Okay. All right. So if you let me scroll up to drill.
If
Or
you,
scroll
it's
down to drill.
so it's the left column,
Mhm.
bottom of the page. It says drill special abilities, and then your wound threshold, your strain threshold, and then your
Oh.
starting XP.
Okay. I glossed over it. I
Yep.
saw the threshold, skill trading.
It isn't called out very well.
Yeah, no, it isn't advertised, and the amount of XP you start with is a very big difference between a lot of the species. So, like my Asari only has 85. My Asari also only has like 12 wounds, even though I have a fairly high brawn, because Asari are physically more fragile than other people's.
So, at skill training, it says may not train the skill above rank 2. What does that mean necessarily?
So what
It's kind
that
of
mean-
like Blades. So you know how in Blades you can't set above 2 dice at character creation?
Okay.
It's kind of like that.
So I can't have 3 survival.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't
Not
have
to start with.
Creation.
Yeah.
You can even just bank if you really want to have 3 survival. You can just bank 15 XP at the end of character creation, and at the end of the first session, just spend it
Okay.
on.
So
but you
it's,
can't start it with that.
It's 5 for rank. Well,
You get 4 for free in your career skills.
Yep.
okay.
Is it okay if I look at your sheet while we do this?
Sure.
I also don't know if we're going to be playing with alchemy. So Genesys is set up to be generic, so you can play it in a bunch of different settings. I think
Okay.
alchemy might be redundant with medicine.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, okay, maybe that means like I come up with paralyzing toxins, but
I think medicine could still cover that, honestly.
yeah,
yeah, that sounds
honestly, I did that with Morden, so
Yeah.
That sounds like an intersection of medicine and life science. Actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I will replace that with ranged light.
Nice.
it's a
Okay.
solid ranged light is a solid combat skill.
Yeah.
So it looks like you've got cool, discipline, medicine, perception, and then ranged light, coercion, biotics, and knowledge life science.
What does coordination mean in this setting?
It is sort of balance, grace while moving. It's acrobatics. Yeah.
Okay.
In
I
an
wasn't
athletics.
sure
Yeah.
if it
sorry.
meant like communication or balance.
No, it's physical. It's purely physical.
Okay.
I think like the other one, like the group coordination is leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leadership, and there's a knowledge skill that they added that is like knowledge brokers.
Oh,
That would be like how to find people
yeah.
and get access to them.
So rank 1 is 5. I mean, like for the other skills, not the ones I get for free.
So for the one that gets for skills that don't have a check mark, rank 1 is 10.
Okay.
So you just raise it by. It's basically 1 step more effective or more expensive.
Yeah.
So if you want skills and you want to put points into them, I would make them class skills
Yeah.
because you're just not going to have. It's going to, especially with as long as this campaign is probably going to run, it makes a lot more sense to just thing.
I
So,
think
yeah.
you also get one more skill.
I should have.
So you get
coordination.
you get 4 you get 4 total in the ones you checked, and then you get 1 between coordination, survival, and whatever the last one was, perception, I think.
Perception, discipline, coordination. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was 1 in all of those.
No, it's
Yep,
1 in
that's-
each, and then 4 in the ones you checked.
4 in the ones I checked. So change it from 1 to 4.
No, sorry, 4 spread across the 8 that you checked off.
Okay. Any recommendations?
For skills in general or skills to be spending your
spending points on?
Probably biotics if you want to do biotic stuff.
Yeah, I would get a rank of biotics and probably rank in hacking.
So.
She doesn't hack.
Yeah, I don't hack.
Oh, you're not gonna. I thought you were at the Sentinel-y.
I was, but then I was thinking that your infiltrator would probably do that more than me doing
Medical stuff.
I'm more of a medical scientist or
Gotcha.
like analyst.
So my immediate thought, and I kind of joked about this with my character, if you are going to be like the nerd, like the science nerd, spending, if you've got XP sitting around you're looking to spend, raising your intellect automatically adds dice to all of the like medicine and life science and that stuff that you'd be doing. It's a relatively effective way to make those better right away.
And the cost is.
Let's do the 4 free skills first.
Well, sorry, I thought
get ahead of ourselves.
I was looking at the sheet. I thought that already happened. Sorry,
no.
I am 74. That's my fault.
So I put one in the 4 mentioned, and then I'm doing another 4 in my check marks.
So you get 1 between where's that list? You get 1 between perception, discipline, coordination, or survival.
Okay, let me fix that. I think I'll put it in perception.
Okay. And then of everything that you checked off, you get to put 1 in 4 of them.
Medicine, biotics. I think I'm gonna put 1 in coercion.
Nice.
And
Like how everyone has a talkie skill.
We've played Blades.
I like how the scientists are scary.
Well, because it's like, listen, do you want me to break your leg more because you're struggling?
The last one I will put in will be. I think I'll put it in cool.
Okay. So you've seen some shit?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I think I used to be like a medic for like the Drell operatives that served the Hanar.
Mm-hmm.
Being a Drell medic must be like double hard.
I mean, with the memory though.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is that you've got that detailed knowledge of all the medical books you've read and all of the surgeries you've ever performed. The bad news is that you've got a detailed knowledge of all the surgeries you've ever performed.
I think part of my coercion is if I'm like scaring someone, I start going into a trance, talking about the last time someone was fucking around.
Yep.
I like it. Yeah, you just dump information about why they shouldn't be this way.
Okay.
So at this point, we've got 100 XP to spend. So if you want to increase your intellect, just to be better at everything with an int, so like literally every skill that is tied to int, you just get better at. That's 30. If you want to go up to 4, which is like you probably become the smartest person in whatever room you walk into. That would be 70 total because it's 30 plus 40.
Okay.
That's when you have arguments about esoteric textbooks.
You've already got... Go ahead.
What if I wanted to do 2 points in intellect and 1 in willpower?
You would not be able to afford it. Because you're already at 3 willpower.
Okay. Because it's 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be 10 short. The other thing is, after character creation, it becomes incredibly expensive to improve your characteristics.
Yeah.
Like you basically can't until it's a tier 5 talent. So there's a significant investment to actually like, which I mean makes sense mechanically because your character starts out skilled, like competent at things, but raw, and then as you spend experience to like improve their specific skills, they get better in these things, but they still have all this potential.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool narrative arc to the character. God damn it, Joseph. Sentinelly challenged.
Thanks, babe. I think I'm gonna put 1 in intellect for 30, and then 1 in willpower for 70.
70 total at this point, yeah.
Yeah. And then
I mean, that makes you good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think average difficulty is 2 purple dice, and like you have a decent chance of success when it's like even greens and purples. And so I mean, like at this point you have an average chance of punching an average person in the average face.
So right, the dice trend towards success with strain.
Yeah, success with threat, which is a complicated success. It's a 7 to 9. It's
I think I'm gonna put another point in presence, and then I'm gonna save the rest of my XP.
Sure.
So that's like 90 spent. I have 10 left.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And then I mean, so if you go to character info,
okay,
on your sheet, it says total XP 100, and then available. Just change available to 10.
Okay.
And then if you want to spend that between today and the next Thursday,
I'll just let it roll over.
Yeah. Gray purple scales. You nerd. I love it.
Look, I don't have hair.
Awesome.
I think the only person with hair would be Mike's character.
Yeah.
We'll never see it.
Yeah.
It's true. We don't even know if the Quarians have hair, right? Like it's. For all we know, it's just a bug face under there.
They're just spiders.
Yeah.
It's the cloud of spiders, like that one comic. Jordan, do you have opinions about Quarians?
I was gonna talk about that one stock photo, but I won't.
Okay.
It's a good one. I like it.
So there's one thing left, which those of us who have a copy of Genesys in front of us, there's your character motivation, which is actually a mechanically relevant thing. And I should figure out where that is. It says page 51, and that's a lie. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's on page 50. Okay. Actually, I think it might be 49.
The whole section starts on 46, but the chart itself is on 47.
Cool. So every character has a desire, a fear, a strength, and a flaw, I believe. I believe it's one of each. If you feel like leaving it up to the dice, you can just roll 4d100. And then I can be the interpreter if you so choose.
I already got some idea, but I went ahead and roll.
Mike, your desire is wealth. Your fear is change.
Oh my gosh.
Probably because you want to be wealthy enough that you don't have to count it anymore. Your strength is witty.
You're a snarky infiltrator.
And your flaw is recklessness.
Oh god, you're a snarky shotgun infiltrator.
Okay. What are the other desires?
The whole list is ambition, belonging, expertise, fame, justice, knowledge, love, safety, vengeance, and wealth.
I might change my desire to expertise stuck out in my head, but like to prove oneself.
Yeah, expertise is your character wants to excel in a chosen field or skill. To achieve perfection, your character practices constantly.
All right, I'm gonna grab expertise.
Awesome.
I forget. Do we have the Genesys PDF?
Yes. It
Yes, we
should
do.
be in the Google Drive. Zach, do you have your...
Yeah, hold on. Boom, boom.
Oh, man. You're also testing fate. Ambition.
Okay, I like that. I like ambition.
Your fear is failure.
Of course it is.
Your strength is you are spiritual.
Oh, good. That came out of fucking nowhere. All right, and
Do you want to know what your flaw is, Zach?
let's do it.
You're intolerant.
Oh,
Holy shit! Why?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes, I was sent here by I don't even know, some god, right? Sent here by some god to
Goddess.
to make goddess. Well, I don't know. Like, have I converted to Elcorism?
Elcorish. It's like
Elcorish.
licorice, but less delicious.
Ambition, fear, or failure, spiritual, and intolerant. All right, let's see how this goes.
I mean, listen, spiritual and intolerant seem to go together, so...
They do. It's not. Yeah.
Alright, Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you trust fate, or would you like to look, would you like to select from the
what?
list?
Whatever. Let's see how this goes.
Awesome. Is that your roll there? Yeah.
Yes.
So 82 vengeance.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
So your desire is vengeance. Your fears also change. Because you rolled the
Okay.
exact same number as Mike.
What are the odds?
Your strength is that you are wise. And your flaw is compulsion. This could be addiction, fascination, obsession, or another automatic behavior that is self-destructive or otherwise impedes your character's ability to function and be healthy.
I'm sorry. What was it?
Compulsion.
Okay, that's what I thought. Jeez.
That's a good random table. I like that.
That went places.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I totally believe in irrational.
Huh. Good times. All right. And then choose gear, appearance, and personality, which I think we've done. Like, I think everybody has an idea of their appearance and personality.
Do now.
And then each PC starts the game with personal gear and weaponry worth 2,500 credits. Jordan, we could get you up to 5 willpower if you want.
I think
Oh
I will,
yeah, because you do that thing, right?
Because you can take less money but more experience.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have that point in presence, but we could get you that last 10 XP.
I think I will.
Terrifying.
So I have been called Siha before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally I don't know, some secret op thing with the Hanar.
God, that's actually scary. So you'll get 20 back from the presence. You had 10 left over. Yep.
I love the fact that you just tanked your own cool though to explain that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So like it left you like a hair trigger, not okay.
No, it's like presence. No one suspects anything from me, but that's fine.
But
You
it
don't
also
need
means
to.
you're real bad at keeping your shit.
It's like
Yeah.
right there on the surface, like that rage is just right underneath. Yeah.
Well, and like a willpower 5 biotic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm a little jealous now. I'm thinking about just going full in and like changing my willpower and strength around, just like not try to compete with that.
No,
You're-
but that goes with you being intolerant. How the fuck is this Drell better than me at biotics?
Bullshit. They clearly have some new amp, and I don't need amps. Amps weren't invented when I used to have to biotic my way to
Exactly.
school uphill both ways.
Get off my brain lawn.
Go embrace eternity elsewhere, you asshole.
Oh god, that makes Zach potentially telling me to go jump in a lake even darker.
Mm-hmm. Into the sea. Awesome.
So we got 2,500 credits here.
Yeah.
Unless
Yes.
we want to.
Unless you want extra XP, at which point you only have 500.
I don't think 10 XP actually helps me that much. So.
Okay.
So I have less than it?
You have 500 space bucks.
There's not a ton to
No.
outfit yourself for an intergalactic journey.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people were that wealthy on the Quarian arc.
It's true.
I also want to point out that this journey
Oh,
will be
God.
both intergalactic and planetary.
Oh god.
Intergalactic planetary.
Here's my really question. Here's the real. Like, did you buy your way onto this arc at the last minute with your expertise? Right.
Yeah.
Like, we were getting ready to launch. Something terrible happened. Our life sciences person was gone. Like eaten by reapers or something.
Disappeared.
I think someone that had wronged me in the past was going to be on one of the other arcs.
Oh, so you
And I
killed
wasn't-
the medic to get on this one.
I don't know that I killed the medic. I think I coerced the medic into staying behind.
Wait, is this coerced?
Yes.
Like, did you lock them in their dorm room?
Yeah, they're on the Citadel while the Quarian arc launches.
Pounding on the window.
A keeper walks by.
Alright, I got 3 hard points and light armor.
Jordan, your
No,
character is
I-
actually scary.
I think I just persuaded someone that I would be not a lot of reputable scientists were going to be on the Quarian arc. They've been snubbed. So it's like it's someone who has credentials.
Well, and like you're going to help keep like because you're hypersensitive to the atmosphere, like
Yes.
you'll know before maybe even some of the sensors will.
Ew, gross. This is too humid.
Yeah. God. So many Volus are gonna die in this crash.
Oh
Alright, let's see what I can do here.
HP is hard points.
Pardon?
HP means hard points, yeah.
no! Where is the table for buying stuff?
Equipment.
Chapter 9.
Yeah.
What is a superior call?
You can buy protective clothing and afford nothing else, Jordan.
Yeah.
Or
Wait, do I not have an Omnitool?
I don't know that you have
I-
one by default. A basic
So-
one is $100.
Okay.
I don't know that you'll need it. Like you can have a civilian grade one on hand, but it will be bad. Like you won't be able to use it for much hacking or anything. But like if you're on a since you're on the Andromeda Initiative like arc, they will have outfitted you with like clothing, food, and basic communication tools. But yeah, you're fairly broke.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can buy a Talon. Holy shit. Why is the Talon so cheap? Jesus.
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
It's the best shotgun in the game.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What is knack for it? It's coming up a lot.
What is knack for it? Tell me, please.
I'm trying to find out right now. I'm not sure where it is. Invasion, multiple opponents. Maybe it's in the core rules.
Possibly.
I should probably have like a doctor's kit.
You either get 2 toolkits that are basic for free, or you get 1 deluxe toolkit for free.
All right, Mike. Knack for it is a ranked talent that for 1 skill, your character removes 2 setback dice from any checks they make using that skill for each rank.
Wow.
Of knack for it. Yeah, it's like the dark vision talents basically. It's pretty good. I'm trying to figure out what the best armor I can buy myself is because I'm kind of flimsy.
I mean, I am only getting light armor because my weapon was expensive.
I'm only getting light armor because medium costs $3,000. So
I mean, that's outside of the reach of character creation.
exactly, it is.
I have an M97 Viper and light camouflaged armor.
Nice.
That's it.
You also have like tack cloak though.
Sure, but I can't.
It's hard to argue attack cloak.
Sure. And as we all know, while in tack cloak, your shields don't regenerate.
So I could get a light armor with improved shielding.
Mm-hmm. This is always the part where Star Wars started to lose me, was like this quantity of crunch in the gear.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
why I played a
buy an
talkie
Ursa?
man.
Did I just
what?
buy an Ursa armor? Did I just buy it? Yeah.
Where's this?
No, like there's just like medium heavy. I just want to buy an Ursa
Oh.
with all the things on it, but I can't.
So no matter what, I will have a really basic Omni tool, unless I
Yeah.
get a fancier one.
Yeah. Everybody starts out with like a basic Omni tool, clothing to hide your shame and not really protect you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to
And-
buy the basic gun until.
And I get 2 toolkits for free, or
Like, imagine the Omni tool you get for free is named Crappy Omni Tool.
mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't have stats, but it's an Omni tool from which you can be reached and like you can phone people.
Do I need to buy one to use my tech powers?
I don't know. Basic Omni tool has all the functions: flashlight, scanner, remote device access, metagel dispenser, computer interface, camera, communications device, video game console, and rapid fabricator. Why did they bother putting video? Fine, sure.
I want to play solitaire.
I'm gonna play Skyrim on my Omni tool.
Yeah.
These
I want to go to a whole to play Skyrim.
Omni Switch.
tech powers. All characters that possess an Omni tool are ostensibly able to. So if you want to like actually hack someone, you'll need an Omni tool. I'll say you can have a shitty one, and it's just probably going to go wrong.
I can't acquire more money, can
I? There's a talent for it. There's a talent which, if you take it at character creation, so at the beginning of each game session, the character automatically gains currency equal to his. I hate that it's always his. Equal to their rank in Sound and Fences times 100. If this talent is taken at character creation, this character begins with 500 space bucks.
No, I'm just going to remove camouflage.
Okay. Also good.
And then I'll pick up a nice Omni tool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll pick the basic Omni tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have 200 credits left over for a pistol, he shrugged.
What is Eagle Eye?
Nope. There's no pistol for 200 credits.
There's a couple 350 Omni tools.
Yeah, but I literally only have 300 left, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are amps something that we can buy?
Biotic amps are a thing you can buy.
Not you, though.
They
They
start
add-
at 350.
Yeah, they add to biotic damage.
Like, it almost feels like your character like got Demolition Man into this job. Like, we unfroze you as part of a prison work transfer thing on the way over, and you have nothing to your name.
Or like the Hanar let you know 2 days before. Like BT Dubs. Your flight leaves in 48 hours.
Or maybe I just lose all my shit in the crash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
maybe
I love the idea of your drill, like picturing their bag, like they on their normal scene. You like remember your bag fondly, and like every location of everything, and then just like that pod, that section of the ship, just getting like spaced.
Yeah.
You're just like, and it tumbled 17 times before it like floated behind some other debris.
So, I'm sorry. I get the 2 toolkits for free, or okay. I'm gonna go with a doctor's toolkit and a surveyor's kit.
Okay. Cool. And then, yeah, the doctor's kit will be useful in some doctor's checks, but not all. And then the same thing with the surveyors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading with the Omni tool, you still get the Metagel dispenser, which I assume is mostly what I'd end up doing.
Yeah. Oh, Metagoo.
I
just
know
like
how
that Omni
it's
gel can
made.
use to heal people and open locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it do? It opens a lock to people's hearts.
Well, and like it can also be used to skip a Tower of Hanoi.
Is RH ranged heavy or ranged light?
Is which? RH, I think it's heavy.
RH, but shotguns are heavy, but they're not heavy weapons. Fascinating.
Well, yeah, heavy weapons are like the black hole and the arc projector, and
and those use gunnery. Okay. So I have ranged heavy. I don't have ranged light.
Okay.
Yeah, ranged heavy is the rifle skill.
Ranged heavy is not pistol, and not SMG.
Sorry, sword. No, I wouldn't do that.
You're not gonna sword people?
I could Krogan hammer people.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But it's actually not better than me punching them, so...
Do you want a C-sec baton? I imagine there is, like... Let's say there is an orientation package, and it's like, welcome to the Andromeda Initiative. It contains the basic... the basic Omni tool for everyone. Like, a C-sec baton... clothing with, like, a fashionable logo... I think that's probably about it.
I don't even know if any of these toolkits make sense for me, so I'm probably not going to take them. Basic Omni tool.
Yep.
Nope. No Omni tools for me. I'll just skip that whole deal. Back in my day, we didn't use Omni tool. I'll buy a shitload of Metagel though. I'll do that. Just like
I'm starting to think that Zach isn't really a matron, but like a young maiden who is like a total hippie. It's like, look, I'm not gonna go by my Asari name. I'm gonna go by my real name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
brutal.
Exactly.
I really want, like, a couple times for you to just do the, like, Elcor prefacing.
Oh, that has been a thing that I've been planning to do the whole time, right?
Good. Great.
Like, just, like, in moments, like, very dramatically appropriate moments to, like, yeah, throw out the Elcor preface.
Patronizingly.
Mm-hmm. Done with this shittingly. Military rations. Metagel. I do think we should... I'm going to spend... How much money do I have? I could buy 500 C worth of Metagel.
That is a lot of Metagoo.
That's 20 Metagoos.
That might be more than we can realistically burn through in 2 sessions.
Alright. Let's call it... Let's call it... 5... Metagel for 250. And I just got cash. Just cash money.
It'll come in handy on unexplored planet 84638, I'm sure.
That's what I'm thinking, right? What is the difference between a breathing mask and an oxygen hood? Let's go find that out.
It might be for different species, but I'm not sure. There's a Quarian in the group, right?
Yes.
It's me.
Okay. Just thinking, like, that emergency repair patch might come in handy. Oh, used to heal a synthetic being. Okay.
I mean, that's a Quarian.
I mean,
they're spider robots.
breathing mask and respirator only a fraction of the planets. Blah blah blah. Oxygen hood. Often choose a oxygen hood instead. Affixed around the neck and covering below the wearer's jaw. Okay, so it's the jack thing instead of like the space helmet.
Yeah. We're going with full-on spacesuit, thanks. If we're just going to crash into a planet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 150 remaining. Tracking beacon? No.
And a wall safe.
Wall safe. Wall safe's way too expensive. It'd be funny if, like, I just carried a wall safe around, though. I'll carry a spare thermal clip for that gun that I never use. Yep.
Oh, they went with thermal clips. I guess they have to.
Basically, yeah, it's what's here, right?
Limited ammo is on everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. A lot of things, anyway.
Yeah.
Where would I even input the basic Omni tool? I looked at weapons, cybernetics, and tools.
I think I dropped it in equipment.
I think it's technically a weapon. More or less. Like, because it adds to hack damage.
I mean, there's literally a tool. But yeah, the hack damage, you would need to put it in as a weapon so you can roll it, I think. Did we ever figure out how to change the name on weapons?
I haven't.
I mean, I have a weapon that I've been rolling, like that one.
Okay.
Okay, how do you... Okay.
So you click plus add for weapon, you type in make model,
Okay.
you fill out the stuff.
Okay. He's just talking about the question mark that shows up next to weapon underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's for collapse.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
It's to just roll the weapon up to... Okay.
Yeah, I think it's to collapse the
line.
the pane.
Gotcha. I'm gonna need to remember what all these tags do. Like scoped to...
Scoped, when using aim, you get a number of boost dice equal to the scoped quality.
Okay.
When
nice.
using Pierce 2, if I remember correctly.
Ignore 2 soak. Is
Yeah, it's
Pierce.
something like that.
And then breach is you ignore vehicle armor. So I remember when we got lightsabers and they had breach on them.
No, that's right.
It's just like your armor is irrelevant. Because lightsaber. God, didn't you
Irrelevant.
What soak did you get up to?
I got up to 11 soak, but it was also what's cortosis, so it just didn't matter anymore. Like literally, I was immune to sabers by the end of that game. You had to like bring the biggest baddest lightsaber and roll really well. It actually hurt me.
I brought tanks for you.
Yeah, no, Mike skipped the lightsaber point by the end.
All right. So you probably can assume that I have a handful of metagel and stuff as well.
Yep. Yeah, I this is going to be a 2-session campaign. I don't expect this to be especially like cumbersome or anything. I'm a little upset that the Widow does equivalent damage to the Javelin and the Kashok. Should be higher.
I'm really trying not to think about that too much.
All right. I feel like we've sort of reached like a natural. At least we can finish this offline point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you want to do that quiet day in the life thing?
If we have like an idea for what our scene 0 is, and then we can start next Thursday with the crash.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. So does anyone have their idea for a day in the life of?
That's a good
Oh
question.
God, what if like I was also a veterans therapist or something? Because I have to deal with remembering my own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like, not only do you remember exactly what they told you and like the rate at which they said it, you also remember like the smell in the room, like how the air got slightly like uncomfortably humid and salty when they began to cry.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
It's pretty messed up.
I think I wanted to do more researched, exploring type work versus constantly being on clinic duty, I guess.
Okay.
Like,
So like,
opposite it all.
is this you like having just quit your clinic job or something?
I think it's after like I handed in my notice.
Okay.
And I get like an alert with like bad news about or about whoever murdered someone that used to be one of my
A private
therapy
eye.
clients.
A private eye, like that,
Yeah.
whom you've hired, or no, it's like the dead man's switch clause on someone's thing, and it's just like if you're listening to this recording, it's too late. I couldn't stop them in time, and they're probably fleeing the galaxy. I found some unusual credit transactions, and some large transfers to a group called the Andromeda Initiative. What species is the person you're hunting?
Turian.
Okay. They bought passage on this vessel. They're calling it an Ark, which just seems pretentious. Yeah, they're calling it an Ark, which just seems pretentious. And I don't think, well, if you're getting this, then I won't be able to help you. Or rather, like, it's too late for you to help me anymore, Doc. All I can ask for you to do at this point is track down that son of a bitch on the Natanus. That's a hard word to say, Natanus. And yeah, track down that son of a bitch on the Natanus. Get my revenge for me, and like, here's all the money I had.
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't quite get in their way, but maybe you can get them for me or something. And then like, and I'll see you in the afterlife.
I think it was someone like in the same branch as like Thane, except instead of being an assassin, they were the private eye, or just like I don't know. They were uncovering some big underhanded thing going on that took place, like switched over to Omega.
They're recon, right? Like SIGINT and human sort of thing. Like they get the intel and pass it on to the people who deal with the wet work.
It was someone that was siphoning medical supplies meant to go to those clinics that I was working at.
Well, and like siphoning medical supplies to the Andromeda Initiative, who have recently begun accelerating production so they can ship in front of some arbitrary deadline that nobody can figure out why it has to go by this point in time.
The Turian I was after was like had way too much heat on him to actually go onto the proper Turian arc.
Okay.
Oh.
So is he on this one?
He's on the Quarian one. I haven't found him yet.
Okay.
And for all I know, he could die in the crash, but because the Turian one is so strict with their military discipline, he probably wouldn't have been able to successfully sneak on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and like, if you're buying your way on, like, yeah, maybe it's you got in this one, right?
Yeah, and I don't think I had that much money because I was working for a clinic instead of like whatever cushy job I had with the Hanar.
Mm-hmm. Well, like the clinic job maybe is how you get right with taking this cushy job and like actually living a comfortable life, but you have all this shit in your backstory that like survivor's guilt out the wazoo or something.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a name for this Subturian sumbitch?
No.
Okay. Vengeancing. So they're on the.
You know
they're
what?
on the
Actually,
Kilesia,
mm-hmm.
which is the name of
think
the Quarian.
Her name is Callan.
Callan. Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, you got this data file in whatever shape it's in. What do you do with it? What's next?
I go to like get with my other sources, see what I can learn about the arc that Callan went on or is dealing with. And then I start presenting myself as a knowledgeable person to bring on this expedition once I find out what it means.
Okay. I think there's a role just to like determine starting position, or maybe just to get used to rolling the dice in the system.
Sure.
So do you want it to be like you do a medicine thing because that's like how you get on the arc? Or do you want to so I think it's either you do the medicine thing to get on the arc, or the people that Callan works for with, etc., are going to ambush you as you leave the offices, and it'll be vigilance to like notice the ambush and get the hell out of the way.
I don't know that Callan actually knows that I exist on the radar specifically.
I mean, okay, so then it would probably be the medicine one.
What about coercion?
To like demand your way on.
Yeah.
What do you have on them? Like, is this like you figured out? Like, Zach, you're on mute. Is this like I know you have all these medical supplies?
I think so, and I mean, like, you're gonna need more medical staff.
So coercion is just like it's the you do this or stick. You're not charm.
So
Okay.
so to me, what I would say, what I was going to pitch with the coercion specifically was like, you show up with like a lab coat and a clipboard, and you just like march your way through, and if you roll decently with your coercion, like nobody has the guts to like
Tell you to get
try to
off.
stop you because they got bigger problems and you look like a huge pain in the butt.
Maybe one of Callan's men do notice that I'm sniffing around because I'm not a sneaky person. Should I do like a biotics roll to protect myself?
I mean, yeah, like I think. Yeah, that would work. That would scare the bejesus out of them, probably.
Okay.
Just want to see if this is working or not. Because I've got some dice input into this thing. So let's do a bit of a tech test. So yeah, roll the... Let's see what happens if you just click biotic. Okay. So it didn't roll any of the spooky dice that I had. That's interesting.
Spooky dice.
I had one purple and one. I had one purple and one red in the GM character sheet, and I hit the Force Player update, which I thought would put those in.
Oh, the Force Player update is purely for to count the story point pools.
Okay.
From what I can tell.
Okay. So let's do the roll again. Is there a good way to do that then? Is there a good way to put in difficulty automatically? Because if you just hit roll a skill, it just rolls those dice.
Yeah, so that sorry, Mike's probably about to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's the ability to sync the dice pool with your GM.
Yep. That's but that's the story point pool. Or do I just prep the roll on my end?
Yeah, you should just be able to set the difficulty there.
Interesting. I wonder what.
Not the story point pool, the dice pool in the character sheet. So you just go there, you give any relevant boost, setback, difficulty, or challenge dice as needed, and then they click the roll die button on the skill or weapon or ability or whatever, and it just comes up.
Okay. Okay, can you hit the roll again and I'll see if I've done it right this time, Jordan? Drum roll.
I did.
You rolled.
Oh,
Scroll down.
There we go. Oh, there we. Oh, and there's a whole bunch of like from GM to GM thing. Cool. So got 5 successes and 1 threat. Beautiful. I mean, do you want to have killed these people who tried to ambush you and leave their scattered remains for like the keepers to clean up or wherever the hell you are? Yeah. I don't know if you're on the Citadel or not. Yeah,
I'm down in the lower parts near the docks.
Okay. The wards?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, this isn't Duskwall. As much as everything shitty goes down in the docks.
No, I'm at the wards, yeah.
Okay. It took me a second to... yeah, I mean... I think it's like... you definitely get startled. Like, you are shaken by the fact that, like... a Turian and a Solarian, like... The Solarian's like, oh, do you have directions? And then, like... a Turian comes up behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder as you like start to like look for the time or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the Solarian tries to like jam a knife in your gut, and then what happens?
There is like kind of like this coating of biotic energy that kind of expands and like slams both of them into like opposite walls. And I think there's like a neck crack.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and like, Solarians are kind of just squishy amphibians.
Yes.
So it's like a neck crack with like a squish in it.
Yeah.
No, just like a water balloon.
Yeah.
There's a pool of green.
Yeah. There's a wet thud. There's an empty suit of like compressed armor. And a green streak, like a tube of toothpaste up a wall. Great.
Yeah, there's like a green streak, and there's like a handlebar sitting in the middle of it, like their chest armor.
Yeah. So Solarians are green. I forgot what Turians are.
They bleed blue.
Yeah, okay, that was it.
Awesome. Yeah, and like that, I think. I mean, apparently it doesn't scare you off. Yeah. Yeah.
I probably look at the Solarians down like near my feet, and I'm just like, oh no. I see a keeper cleaning nearby. I'm like, whatever. I'll look at it, and I just walk off.
Great. Yeah, and go board a shuttle to go hop on an arc.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anyone want to follow a tube of toothpaste?
I mean, I can. I imagine I'm already on the arc because I've already like bullied my way on, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, I am doing like briefing or having just briefed the science team, right? and sort of sent them scattering to do their works, and maintaining my area.
Mhm.
Um,
Do you keep it 5S?
yes, but in like with like crystals.
Yeah,
Um,
played that campaign too.
so yeah, I'm and I'm probably sort of overseeing everything that's going on. Could almost see me being there for like the intake orientation for Jordan's character, basically,
Oh yeah.
right? So like this Drell, is the Drell gendered at this point?
It's a woman.
Okay,
She's
so
like purple gray.
okay, so she comes in. Are you like? Do you have? You don't have a whole lot. Are you wearing like a lab coat and?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think I actually got on the arc legitimately, but like the fact that I was following Callan, got those thugs interested in me.
Okay, okay. Uh, so yeah, so you make your way on board. You are being introduced as part of the science team, and I'm like showing you, having just dispersed this crowd of other scientists and assistants and tech people. I'm showing you to your workstation. Okay, so this is where you are. All of the data we have reads out over here on this strange device, and I'm just like pointing to the hollow screen thing. Like, they say it works. I prefer analog writing utensils.
Do you prefer like cathode ray tubes?
all of my documentation is written like sheets of tin that have been.
No, just you have like an old CRT monitor. Because like you're just that far back in tech, but the Asari, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you need? Have you gotten? Are you wearing like the ARC T-shirt and carrying the ARC baton? Like, have you been through the orientation already, or?
I think they skipped that for me and were trying to show me to the station first.
Okay.
But I haven't collected those things yet.
Okay. Do you have quarters yet? Have we quartered you?
No.
We should see to that soon. It is important that you have somewhere to be when you're not here. Do you have any questions about your surroundings? I assure you, these individuals, though they are of a lesser tier of minds, should be adequate to the task. We have already assimilated to the journey, and everything should be fine. Do you know what we're doing? Out of character, do you know what's happening?
I feel like I'm about to get hazed.
Well, no, does your character know that this is a ship that's being like
a one-way trip
out of the galaxy?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I think part of it is revenge. Part of it is wanting to get away from the day-to-day like thing, just being part of something bigger, exploring science,
Okay.
discovery.
You get to catalog all new rocks that have never been cataloged before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
although I think that was just an added bonus that comes with making sure Callan doesn't get to enjoy this new universe.
Mm-hmm.
So looking you up and down and noticing sort of dressed for the part, but you don't have an Omni tool yet, and you don't. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, okay, we can requisition these things. It will be fine. What is happening? Okay. And then I will direct you.
Oh, maybe when your Asari notices that I don't have things like Omni tools, I start doing some sort of spiel where I gave up my belongings for the betterment of lesser privileged individuals.
Oh, this is a cause that I know well, a philosophy that I too have taken part in. I myself prefer to do my important works without such trappings. Unfortunately, as the director here, they had forced me to have basic, and I'll like hold up my arm. There's like a little glittery Omni tool on it, and they forced me to have basic access to things. They talk to me on this. It's crazy. I much prefer my cloister back home.
Yeah, I don't think my drill believes a word you're saying.
That's fine. That's fine. Come. I will show you. I will show you the rest of the ship. And I sort of stomp out because that's how I walk because I'm half Elcor.
Great.
I think during that whole thing.
Come see the rest of the ship.
Exactly. Excited welcome.
There's definitely like moments where there's like a cut to, I don't know, whenever your Asari looks away for a moment, my Drell is like mouthing, "Wow."
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How's your vigilance, Zach?
Pretty good actually. My willpower is pretty strong.
Do we want to just like, is that your role for the thing? Is like seeing if this mouthy Drell?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
What would that like? How does that opposed roll work? What's
like that thing where I have my arms folded behind my back, and she's like talking about how amazing her stuff is, and it's just like I look away, and my eyebrows raised, like.
I think the role the opposing skill for
is
like
stealth?
not. It's either stealth or cool to not like. Throw to not like be mouthing off to me behind my back when my back is not turned.
Okay.
Right.
Either way, it's gonna be the same roll because I'm gonna upgrade it once.
Can I fight the urge to do it with discipline?
I mean, God, you probably make that though.
Yeah, you probably make that roll actually.
You already said you'd done it. I mean, like, this is just defining Zach's relationship to you, and you can prepare that.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got one purple and one red in there for you.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
This is the friendliest, most accommodating Drell you've ever encountered. Like
this Drell knows her place in the scheme of things. Clearly, the Hanar have done a very conditioning this Drell.
Yeah.
To be a servant to higher powers.
Yeah. And that's definitely not Solarian blood. That's just like a little schmutz.
Yeah.
It happens in the wards. They don't down there. They don't know how to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they eat down there, but I assume it's messy at times. Those lower courses of people.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I would lead you out, and I will give you. So my voice, the character, I'm half Elcor, so and I'm imagining like there's a fair amount of genetic drift here. So like I'm a really thick Asari, like really big and like bulky Asari, and then like some of my tentacles are actually like I'm imagining them as like elephant trunk-esque almost, right?
Are they?
Sorry.
Well, no, sorry. I know that I'm crossing the streams, but are they almost like horns, like the Canary from Dragon Age 1 to Dragon Age 2?
I was just gonna say, I think my favorite thing about your character is like one of the things in one of the like codex entries in Mass 2 or 3 was just like genetically we can't fucking tell the difference between like pure blood Asari and not. This is like so far as we can tell, this is actually just psychosomatic. And so just psychosomatic, you stomp around and occasionally preface your speech.
Yeah.
And you style your head tentacles slightly to the
Yeah, into like the canary horns. Yeah, so I will show you through and we'll be giving the tour as I sort of stomp through. And you can see, I imagine now the trust my character in this fashion. I imagine like the other people just sort of part, not because not out of like respect, but like out of like I don't want to deal with this person right now, sort of thing.
Why is this Sastari stomping around?
Yeah. As I lead you through, and I imagine Drill aren't very tall, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
They're like humanish.
They're
You
pretty
finish?
tall. Thane
Okay.
is pretty tall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm imagining this. I'm imagining this person, like this Asari, as being like larger, like bigger than normal Asari. So
You
I also
built like an Amazon is sort of like
Yeah.
the like cheap low effort way to like describe the physicality.
yeah, but like even like slightly bulkier than that. Even.
Yeah.
Like she looks like if there were women that played linemen in the NFL, like that's sort of the look she has. Yeah, and yeah. So over here, this is the dining area. If you would to mix with the crew while taking your meals.
Hanging on your every word.
Yeah. And I imagine you're looking around for what's his face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And on this side over, this is the outfitters. Should you require new, and I'll sort of meaningfully look up and down your accoutrement there. Clothing or other goods. And yeah, we'll continue through the ship, giving you the tour. Until a panel explodes and Mike's character is standing behind it.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll remember this.
I love that you failed that roll. Like that was just so perfect. Good job, Dice.
I'm totally a nice lady that totally didn't kill 2 people half an hour ago.
Yep. Oh, this is gonna go real well.
Yeah.
Real well.
The foamy green blood of one of them is still fresh on you.
You casually flick the blood off
Yeah.
your suit.
It's more like Specs because the guy was like in a wall across
Yeah.
from me.
Impact splatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Vince Seisel,
Yes,
you chose the fucking name, man.
I know, and you will laugh every time.
Yep. So Vince
coming.
Seisel. Okay. All right, Vin. You go by Vinny. What's
Like
Oh,
Quarian
I've got his
Vinny.
cousin on the ship.
Like
how's
Quarian Vinny.
how clued into like actually Andromeda Initiative stuff are you? As like the physical security and like other shit.
So I mean, like, as far as Vin understands that this is a lifeboat, right? That's heading out, and they're going to be dropped. Everyone they know will be dead by the time they wake up,
Yes.
right? And he's like, Vin's afraid of change,
Yep.
right? And this whole thing has change writ large on it. So there's got to be another reason while they are doing this. Where did this
Well,
go?
here's another thing about your character. They're proficient at war, which
Yeah.
raises questions.
Which questions does it raise?
I mean, is that why you were hired by the Andromeda Initiative?
Well, so like, he's trained, right? So Vin's got book learning as far as he's knowledge warfare, right? He's got some ranks, one rank in stealth, one rank in guns, but he's most naturally apt at tech, right? Good computers, good hacking. So, you know, that's I believe that's how he got in. He's not like urban scout sort of hire, as opposed to pure bodyguard.
Okay.
Right. So, and I think I'm here because like, I'm not on a ship, right? I don't have my own vessel. I forgot what the Quarian like rite of passage
Pilgrimage.
thing was. Like, don't they go? Yeah, they go off into the world, right? I think this is literally my pilgrimage.
Okay. Oh shit.
That's a hell of a pilgrimage.
And that's why you're afraid of change. Because you've never been off your home ship before. You've never been off the Senna.
Right.
Good.
And that's why I'm witty, right? That's why I always have an answer for shit, because that way, no one knows how scared I am.
At least war never changes.
Right, war's easy. Right, that combat aspect is fine.
Yeah.
And machines are fine,
Hmm.
and that's all fine. And I can play with computers, and I can hack stuff, and I can use my multi-tool
Hmm.
because a gun is just a multi-tool that. Yeah, wow. This character's she went some places in this description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A gun is a multi-tool that's like you turn like exploration into a point-and-click adventure game where the answer is always use gun on man.
Or use multi-tool on problem.
Right. Yeah.
So like I don't hate the idea that a panel explodes and Vin walks through it or is on the other side or like rolls through it and shuts it behind him and it's smoking.
Okay. Well, so I was gonna ask like, just like how, like, are you in the know about like the Andromeda Initiative and like how part of it is like flinging a lamp into another galaxy because the Reapers are coming and they know that.
I feel like that's a thing that the Quarians are kind of aware of by necessity, right? The Shepherd has come
Yeah.
through the Quarians at this point, and they know what's going on, and the Quarians are survivors.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm aware of what's going on. Like we don't tell anybody, right?
Right. Yeah. Like no one's like, oh yeah, everyone back in the Milky Way's dead when we arrive, and like everyone you knew is dead, but like you kind of think civilization may have survived without you, but no, the Reapers done occurred.
We won't know for sure anything that happened there, right?
Yeah.
And that's not like that's not a thing that freaks out Vin as much as it would freak out other people.
Okay.
Because that is now a thing that is not within, right? Yeah,
It's static.
It is outside. Yeah,
It is static and unchanging. Awesome.
it is outside the frame of reference for this
Out of
execution.
sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like what's your day-to-day on this ship then?
I think that I spend most of my time like there's not a whole lot of call for murdering people.
I mean, like cabin fever is a thing. This is a real long journey,
Yeah,
and like
Someone might have snuck onto the ship for a personal vendetta.
I mean, nobody knows that yet, right? Except for you. But like, I think that my day to day is probably like repair and fixing stuff and making
Okay.
sure that everything is correct and like checking cryo tubes, right?
yeah,
Like that's got to be a thing that I'm super paranoid about.
yeah,
If only for mine, then for all my species, right? Because we're going to be asleep,
yeah.
and God knows what's going to happen to our encounter suits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's about over 200 years frozen.
647, I want to say.
I mean, because do we sleep in our suits? If not, then do we just pull them on before we get them defrosted?
Holy shit! Right.
Right. So let's.
Do they pump the like freezing gas into the suit?
Oh, and they just like freeze them where they stand. Beautiful.
I was
There's
gonna
just
say,
racks of frozen Quarians, like popsicles.
Not even just like where they were standing when the like gas hits.
Suitsicles.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, I mean, like, since a lot of the flotilla is made up of slapdash like ships, are all the cryotubes even going to be functional?
Well, I mean, the Quarian arc is made separate.
Well, I just
Yeah,
meant
luckily the
it's-
Quarians didn't make the Quarian arc.
Okay.
I imagine like some Quarian engineers actually probably did a lot of the like, here's how you make a ship fly for 600 years. Because that's an
Sure.
engineering problem and a half.
True.
But they didn't get to provide any of the materials.
No, and they didn't get to do any of the programming of the like onboard VI either.
So that's what I'm doing, right?
Okay.
I am combing through all the code and hardware to make sure that because we don't like it's scary and I don't know what this is and I haven't changed any of this code myself.
I love the idea that like They thaw you out for like a week rotation at a time on this like literally centuries long journey to keep the ship maintained and repaired. And your cycle, like every 3 or 4, like there's a beat frequency here, and it matches up with this Solarian, not a Solarian, sorry, with a Drell, like a Drell who's also in IT.
Okay.
And this time, like, you open your email, and there's like a message sitting there from some spoofed account, and it says, "Does this unit have a soul?"
No, delete.
And like the Drell like comes over and is just like patting you on the shoulder and laughing like, "Ah, got ya."
That's not funny.
I beg to differ.
Toast just killed my people, man.
And yeah, like he laughs even harder at that.
Yeah. You got genetic memory, right?
Eidetic, yeah. He's like,
Eidetic.
"Yeah, I'm gonna remember that look on your face forever." Or, you know, the
Right.
creases in your suit, whatever.
That's right. The metallic blue over visor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because like all Quarian reactions are exaggerated because nobody can see our face. Right?
Yeah.
So tap. Ah!
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Does someone do you wake up with like Sharpie on your
Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
like the
right?
Sharpie
It's been there
over the glass?
Yeah. I mean, not when you wake up from cryo, but when you actually just go to regular sleep.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Drell, the gopher, or the
Yeah.
the jokester. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, like, I've got this picture of Vin walking around with the Viper just kind of slung over his back casually, like the pictures.
At all times.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because it's like what's that, like the Norwegian country that has mandatory like rifle
Oh.
training days and stuff, like where they're riding their bikes around windmills and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's a rifle. It's, you know. Yeah, no, so what's something silly? Not something silly, but like, oh, so
If you want revenge, you can just like slowly increase the humidity in the room.
or decrease the temperature.
Yeah.
You wrote me a joke email. Now I will give you water cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Capitals.
that's
Here, have some capitals, jerk.
Yeah.
This way you'll be dead before we hit Andromeda. I win.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what I'll do though. Is like I'll figure out. I'll let the Drell first.
You what?
I'll let the Drell go to sleep first during
Okay.
that cycle, and I will glue something on the outside of his cryo tube like frost. That just looks like frost, but it's not actually like anything.
It's not actually like harmful, but it just looks terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can just like change the readout of the humidity.
I get like
Sensor?
one of those stickers that puts it over the humidity that just is like 0.
Yeah, I mean, like I think like that would be hacking, right? To like
Yeah.
fake changing it, and then if there's a despair, then hey,
Or a triumph.
yeah,
Yeah.
or a triumph, either way.
So is this computer engineering or physical engineering with hack or social engineering with psyops?
I mean, you tell me.
I picked all the hack.
Yep.
Well, sysops is using a thing that you already have access to. Hacking is breaking your way in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And sysops
I'll
is like
use
how
hacking.
well you can use your own Omni tool, like its defense. Okay.
Has it been set?
I put in your spooky dice. Yes.
Blink. Oh, you had to say something.
Yes.
Ah.
I mean, I don't know that you kill him because that just seems extreme, and I like this shitty character. But like, they take it for real. Like, there's a panic attack. Like, this person is like briefly, well, not briefly actually, because eidetic memory, they are traumatized. Like, you have scared the fuck shit out of this person.
That tracks perfectly with this character. Right?
Yeah.
It's reckless, but I think it's funny.
Yeah. Well, and like, I mean, and it's harmless. Like, it's it's a similar sort of prank, right? Like, he was like, hey, these things like almost genocided your people. and then you're just like responded in kind. And you just remember, Zach, you're a bad person.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, what is Keyless Alive? I can't remember what that means.
Fuck.
I gotta look this up for next time.
Yeah.
They're like, that's
It's
odd.
may we meet
Diagnostic
again.
will cause that.
It's like, may we meet again on the homeworld, basically.
Peace be with you.
That makes sense. All right, cool. So I gave PTSD to this Darrell that didn't deserve it,
Yeah.
but it's all right. It's all DL. It's all right. I'm not gonna cop to it. So like, what is yeah. So I mean, that's me, right? I think that's a pretty good VIN.
Mm-hmm.
Fin for vindictive.
Vin for Vendetta?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, Keyless Ally has a really weird context or a really weird meaning in the context of the Andromeda Initiative.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like, I mean, what would a new Quarian homeworld even look like, right?
Yeah.
Because like you'd have to terraform it to like nothingness except these exact like atmospheric conditions, and like have a bunch of bacteria on to get it to like the right everything, and then just wipe them all out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How would you even do that? Like, you wouldn't be able to produce like oxygen or whatever like atmosphere you need unless you just had like machine generators.
Yep. Now you'd have to like repurpose. I'll bet part of the ship is modular and is like the oxygen production system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is they breathe.
Yeah. Whatever that gas is that those spiders live on.
There you go. By the homeworld I hope to see someday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, I feel like we got a handle on all of our shitty characters.
This is definitely the A team we're bringing for this one here.
I mean, as much as anywhere else in the Andromeda Initiative was the A team.
It's true.
Let's make the human Pathfinder a 20-year-old who still does keg stands. Awesome. All right. I think that brings us to the end of our session 0. And next time we'll get everything started with a bang. But until next Thursday, do we have City of Mist on Saturday, or did that get? That's been
It's scheduled.
okay. So our next stream will be Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing video games because we're getting all of our waterfowl in alignment.
Yes.
Getting all of our ducks in a row and our crows in a column. But yeah, until next Tuesday, I've been Andrew Otway.
I've been Zach Colmore.
I can't tell where you're pointing
At
my
you, Jordan.
Where you and where am I are different locations. You're to my this way.
Okay, I've been Jordan.
And I'm like,
And yeah, hit us up on that D&D podcast on basically your social media of choice, or that D&D podcast at gmail.com or that D&D podcast .com. And we've got a Patreon, and yeah, we try to stream at least twice a week, and we're trying to get a bunch of our ducks in a row so we can actually like have a schedule for people, which should be really useful and cool. But yeah, until next Tuesday, good luck, roll well, and see you then.
and remember, this is our favorite stream on the Twitch.